So while there were some on here that are difficult, there were actually several that should have been straightforward, right? So looking at this, they are all mixed in. They don't go in the same order. So number one is simply saying, hey, here's a polynomial. Write it in standard form and tell me what you would call it using the degree. These answers or examples can be found on page 11. Page 11. So if you struggled with this one, I want you right now, next to number one, I want you to write page 11 so that you know where you can go look to see an example. You're not solving, you're not adding, you're not subtracting, you're simply rearranging and then saying, oh, it's a blank because it has degree whatever. This one. List the terms in the polynomial. You don't have to actually list them. You could copy the polynomial and then you could put the slashes and that would show me that you know where the terms are. Or you could just write the terms and put a comma in between. It's up to you. What is the coefficient of x? What is the constant? Those questions are exactly like the ones on page 11. Again, we practiced it on page 11. So if you needed help on this one, look at the front of 11 and you're going to see where we had examples that were just like that. Okay? Number 3. Which of the following is not a polynomial? We haven't actually taken notes on these are not polynomials. But when you're looking at these answer choices, what two choices stick out as different than everything we've looked at? C and D look totally different. And it's because of the fractions. That's why I love polynomials. Polynomials do not have fractions. That's why I like them. I like anything with polynomials because it's plain, pretty numbers, okay?
You don't have to go to the
There's no fractions, there's no radicals, there's no negative exponents, none of that in polynomials. So you would say that C and D are not polynomials, and it's because of those fractions. Now, number 4. One of the most common mistakes that I see people make is they see parentheses and they immediately multiply. Is this a multiplication problem? No. This is an addition problem. So please don't jump to multiplying just because you see parentheses. Look in between the parentheses. If there's something there, then you're doing that. If there's nothing there, it's multiply, right? If it's parenthesis backed up to parenthesis, that is a multiply problem. You with me? Yes? So this is just straight addition. Remember, you are adding like terms. So the x squared and the x squared, the x and the x, the constant and the constant, okay? Number 5. Simplify the expression. What are we doing here? This is a subtraction problem. Again, you see parentheses, you might think multiply, but it's not. It's subtract. Can't talk. It's subtract. Right? You with me? Okay? Number 6. That is multiply. You got a parenthesis backed up to a parenthesis. That one's multiplying. We would multiply that out. You have the freedom of choice of using the box method or the split and repeat method. Okay? So it doesn't matter which one you use. Box method, split, repeat, doesn't matter. Just show your work. So if you get it wrong, then I can I can help you. I know where I can look and see and try to find where you made a mistake. Well, hold on 1 second. Are you on 7? Okay, hold on. Let me get through this first. So this is 6. You are multiplying. 7. What are we doing? Subtracting, right? Okay, just checking. We're subtracting. So make sure to distribute the understood -1 that's in front of the parentheses. You're going to distribute that to everything behind it. It will change all the signs. Then you will combine like terms, right? Yeah. All right, this one is, what is the product of 7x minus 3 and 5x plus 4?
Is it product multiply?
Yes, it is. So this is just saying multiply. Product means multiply. They're saying, hey, here's this, and you're going to multiply them together. So you can write it the way we've been practicing it, and then you would finish it either the box method or split repeat. If you do the box method, you're going to draw a 2 by 2. If you do the split repeat, you would split it right there. 7x minus 3, and in the beats, you would repeat 5x plus 4, 5x plus 4. Right? And then you would keep going. I'm not going to keep going because you're supposed to be practicing because you have the test tomorrow.
Where's your practice? Oh, I'm done. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. I thought this was something good.
It's about to be. So, yeah. Number 9. This is probably one of the longest time-consuming problems because they're saying, hey, which one of these 3 expressions will give you this? Oh, sorry, I thought I was on highlighter. Will give you this. So you have to actually work all 3 of them out. Now, I would think smarter and not harder. Meaning, I would not jump to the multiplication one first, knowing there's an addition and subtraction one, and I can do that really quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably check those first just in case one of them works out. I don't really even remember the answer here, but I would check the addition, I check the subtraction. If neither of those produces that expression, then you should know that, okay, it's probably the multiplication, and then you would have to do it to confirm, okay? So this is just saying, hey, which one of these will give you this? Number 10. 10 is different. What's different? You got that squared, right? Red means wrong here, because red is a terrible football team. Anyways, red means wrong here. I see people do this all the time. They see this and they think, oh, it's 9x squared plus 16. And that would be wrong. And the reason why it's wrong is because how many terms are in here? There's 2, which means that's a binomial times a binomial. Not, oh, you just square it. No, 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 no. Okay, so please be careful. This means you write it twice. You write it twice. I'm going to write twice, like write that twice. Now you should see, oh, there's the binomial times the binomial. You can do box method, 2 by 2, or you can do split repeat method. Doesn't matter. Leave that just for another second. Some people are writing it. Okay, what is the sum of blank plus blank? What does sum mean? Addition. Sum means addition. So we have this plus this. You're just adding. It actually is nice because they're kind of stacked by like terms, so you could probably visualize the adding and then write your answer. Okay? Don't let the word sum, S-U-M, throw you off. It just means add. Simplify. This is a binomial times a trinomial. So you could do the box method with a 2 by 3 or a 3 by 2, either one. Or you could do the split, beep, repeat, beep, and then 4x squared plus 8x minus 7. And then you would multiply that out, right? Your final answer, I think, is going to end up with a cubed, a squared, and an x. And a number. And a constant, sorry. Now, 13. Find the area of the rectangle. Yes. You had to remember from middle school what area means. Area means multiplying to find the total space of the 2D shape. Like this is called an area rug. That's what it's called. Because it's a rug for a certain area in your room. It's area rug. The area of a rectangle is length times width. Or, some people call it base times height. Doesn't matter which one you call it. Length, width, base height, doesn't matter. Same thing. So this is saying, hey, take the length and the width and do what with them? Multiply. Right? So this is a multiply problem. All right, come right here. Simplify the expression. I'm going to help you with this one because this is the only one that has two variables in it, which throws some people off. It is m and n. Unfortunately, I wish it was like x and y, but it's m and n. So we still do it the same way, though. We have a what times a what? A binomial times a binomial. Okay, so we're going to split, repeat, or do a 2 by 2 box, right? I'm going to split, beep, repeat, beep. I've got 3m plus 9n. All right. Now I've taken my complicated binomial times binomial. I have rewritten it into a monomial times a binomial. Monomial times binomial. I know these words are really annoying, but it's so important that you understand the vocab. Half of the battle in math is knowing the vocab. Okay, so that's why I'm saying it so many times. So we're ready to distribute. We're going to multiply 2m times 3m, then times 9n. You with me? Okay. 2m times 3m would be 6m squared. 2m times 9n. Thank you. Multiply the numbers. The letters are not the same, so they just show up together like magnets. So it would be 18mn. Now what if you wrote 18nm? Same thing. Same thing. I do tend to put it in alphabetical order within the term, like within the term. I do tend to do that just because it bothers me not to, but you don't have to. No, LMNO? LMNO, yeah. All right, now we're going to take this and we're going to distribute here and here. You with me? Okay, go slow. Negative 4n times 3 M.
Negative 12 and then
Yep, you can write in M, but it might confuse you that there's a like term right in front of it if you do that. So I'm going to write it in the same order as its like terms so that I know, ooh, those are fixing to combine. You with me? And then now negative 4n times 9n.
negative 36 and then square.
Squared. There it is. Negative 36n squared. And so the only thing you can do here is that front and that end just come down. And you might be thinking, well, what order do I write it to be in standard form? When you have multiple variables like this, there's not really a standard form.
So
It's-
how would it be 6 and then
6, oh yeah, in the middle, yeah. So the whole thing would be 6m squared plus 6mn minus 36n squared. Yeah. Are you taking notes?
Say what you said again.
You with me? You should be taking notes because you missed. You gotta. Okay, we'll take notes too, because that way, because I'm helping you, so that when I say, okay, have at it, like I just worked this whole problem for you. Susan? All right. Number 15 says to find what? The perimeter. Yes. Perimeter is just a fancy way of saying, hey, add up all the sides. Well, all the sides have expressions, so you're just adding polynomials. You will not come to just a nice, pretty number. You're going to come to a polynomial expression because there's some x's in there. There's also a square. So your answer is going to be a square, an x, and a constant. Okay? Not like 24. It's going to be like 3 terms. You with me? Now what I want to do is for you to get out page 12. And since we just refreshed you on area and perimeter, keep this paper out too, because you're fixing to show me your answers, get your 100, check them. But go to page 12. I want to do that problem at the very bottom.
I don't even see them.
I know. It kind of blends in. Kind of looks like a disclaimer at the bottom. All right, so number 5. Rectangle has a length of 6x minus 2 and a width of negative 2x plus 3. Find the perimeter and the area of the rectangle. What would be a helpful thing to have here in front of me? Oh, yeah, well, okay, I wasn't saying, I was leaning more towards picture. Draw a picture.
Yeah, let's not bring out calculators.
Draw a picture of a, what are we talking about?
Rectangle.
Drawing a picture of a rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Label your rectangle. You're going to label the length. You're going to label the width. We are down here at the bottom. We are right here. So the length is 6x minus 2, and the width is negative 2x plus 3. I'm going to try and write it right here. All right. Now, it says find the perimeter and the area. What is perimeter again?
Around the
It's
edge.
just adding up all the sides. Right? Okay. How many sides do I have?
2.
I have 4 sides on this. Is why the picture is helpful. I have 4 sides on this shape, but I only have 2 pieces of info. Right? But it's a get there. You can do it.
Is that not like where it's 2? Or no, I mean there's 2 sides of each, so it's
Because what shape is it?
rectangle.
It's a rectangle.
Yeah.
Y'all know rectangles from middle school. The opposite sides are always equal. They are parallel as well. But in terms of length, they're equal, right? So 2 ways to do this. One's the long way, which works, nothing wrong with it. you could say, well, hey, it's a rectangle, so what's this got to be?
6x minus 2.
And then what's this got to be?
Negative 2x plus 3.
So that's one way to do it. And then you add up all four sides, right? Can anyone think of a shorter but also works way?
Yeah, 6x minus 2 times 2.
Yes? Keep going.
Oh, then negative 2x plus 3 times 2.
And then add that, right?
Yeah.
So there's another way to do it, and that is to say, well, now wait a minute, I just copied the two sides. So what I could have done is I could have said the perimeter is going to be, notice I'm skipping some space, the 6x minus 2 added to the negative, gotta be careful there, 2x plus 3, and I just double that because there's two of each of them, right? So that's another way. If you don't see it that way, then don't force it. But look at it, try to think about it, maybe one day it'll click. But this also works. Labeling the picture, writing all four of them, and adding it up. That also works, okay? All right, let's do this. Before we distribute that too, let's condense anything that is a like term. So right here we have 6x plus a negative 2x, that would be 4x. Then we have negative 2 plus 3, that would be plus 1. Now we can distribute that too. So if I doubled 4x plus 1, I would get 8x plus 2. Now we're going to also find the area. We said the area is length times width. So this would just be a binomial times a binomial. You could finish this doing the box method or doing the split repeat method. At this point, you should be comfortable with one of those methods, and that should be your preferred method of choice.
I could have done it.
It's fine. Beth, stay with me. Stay with me, Beth. So if I always, y'all know me, I told y'all, I do the split repeat. So 6x minus 2, and then we got negative 2x plus 3, negative 2x plus 3. So distributing that, I've run out of room, so I'm going to have to come up here and do it. We would have negative 12x squared plus 18x plus 4x minus 6, right? Did you get that? So negative 12x squared plus 22x minus 6. So now those notes are complete, and they can also help you with the polynomial task cards. So at this point, here's where we start separating based on everyone's either work ethic or your attendance or your just desire to get done, right? Here's where we start breaking apart. The race is no longer even, and that's okay because everyone has different speeds of learning, working, practicing. Here's what you need to do. If you're already done with the polynomial task cards, you will just come to my desk. I'll give you the answer key, take down your 100. Then I'm going to give you page 14. Page 14, like I said, is a breath of fresh air because it is just addition, subtraction, multiplication. No perimeter, no area, no what's the vocab word, none of that. Although you do need to know the vocabs for tomorrow, but we already practiced it. You can only practice that so much, right? There's only 3. There's linear, quadratic, cubic, or there's binomial, monomial, trinomial.
So I did look at those.
Yeah, which we've been practicing with, like monomial, binomial, trinomial.
And
You might want to refresh your memory on the degrees.
Degrees are how many?
The highest exponent.
Oh, that's the degree.
think of if I said, what's the temperature outside? You tell me the highest degree.
Scorching hot.
It is hot, yeah. Not in here, no, it's cold. Let's put page 14 on your table of contents.